What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, that is musically inclined at times, the Musical Zach, and today's subreddit is r/PettyRevenge. Alright, this story's called Don't Throw My Laundry on the Floor. This story takes place this last January when I was a college student living in dorms. My dorm didn't have any laundry facilities, so I was forced to walk across the street to use the facilities in another dorm. On one such night, I had decided to kill two birds with one stone, murderer, and had planned a late night of studying while I waited for my laundry. I went across the street, deposited my clothes in the laundry, and returned to my dorm. Because of the long walk back to move my laundry, I was about 5 minutes late past the end of my cycle. But of course, some butthole had decided to take out my clothes and throw my wet laundry all over the disgusting floor and taken the machine for himself. To those of you who say it was my own fault, there were many other places they could have put my clothes, with which I would have been totally fine. Like the two bins marked clearly for unattended clothes, the top of any of the machines, or even my own bin, which was right next to the machine. Anyway, what this person did was totally uncalled for. I was pretty pissed, and I thought about waiting for his cycle to be done and throwing his clothes on the floor. But, like a true Jedi, I must not give in to my anger. Attaboy. Instead, I put my clothes in another machine, went back to my dorm, and brought over all my study stuff and set up camp in the lobby of the dorm across the street. When the douchebag cycle was up, I went into the laundry room right on time. Before he could get to his clothes, I just pressed the button to start the cycle again. To be clear, it is impossible to stop the washers mid-cycle, but you can stop the dryers. So this guy was waiting for a whole hour more. Petty, right? Oh, but this story doesn't end here. Being petty as I am, I casually studied in the lobby and set an alarm every hour. And every time it went off, I waltzed into the laundry room and restarted his cycle. Strange how he was quick to punish me for being late and couldn't even get back on time himself. At 1:30 a.m., I went into the laundry room one last time. I was almost done studying. The offender had moved his clothes into the dryer. Nice try. I just stopped the dryer cycle and moved his clothes right back into the same washer and started another cycle. Then I gathered my things, including my own clean laundry, and went to sleep. As I drifted off into that realm of eternal bliss, I was comforted by the knowledge that this douchebag was gonna be doing his laundry until at least 3 a.m. on a weeknight. Don't touch my crap. Update. Oh my god, y'all are so sweet. I sincerely hope this brings you as much evil joy as it did me, and that this post helps end laundry terrorism in the world. Thank you for the awards, beautiful people. You know what? That was very creative what you did. Congratulations. This story's called I Ruined My Bully's One Chance at Making Friends and Being Accepted. All through middle school, there was this one girl who was several years older than me, Margaret, who rode my school bus, who really had it out for my Japanese-American family. Every morning, when my 5 siblings and I would get on the bus, she would start yelling at us from the back of the bus, "Hey, it's the Asians!" and other random meaningless crap, taunting, goading, and making fun of us for literally no reason. The same things would happen in the hallways if we ever had the misfortune of running into each other. Once, we talked to our mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, you mean Pig Girl? The one who makes really ugly faces at me every time the bus pulls up?" So we had a good laugh that my 5-foot-flat angel mother had been calling our bully Pig Girl all this time. But the situation never improved, even after Pig Girl left middle school, since our school's bus routes were shared by the high school. So years went on, and I finally started high school and somehow ended up hanging out with a bunch of senior girls all of the time. Not because of any merit, but because I was small and lonely and they took me under their wing. It wasn't a bad time, thanks to these kind girls, and I had all but forgotten about Pig Girl. One day, one of the nice girls who sit with us at lunch brings someone new with her, saying this senior girl had no place to sit and wanted to be friends. And, well, what do you know? It's good old Pig Girl. Looking back, I wish I had been nice and understanding. She was probably just taking out pent-up emotions from being lonely and having family problems on easy targets like my family of small people. But alas, I didn't. When Pig Girl was introduced to us, I put on a really nice and welcoming act, knowing I had her in the palm of my hand. I immediately said something along the lines of, "Hi, do you remember me from the bus?" And she responded uncomfortably in the response. I had her sit next to me. I then struck up a jovial conversation with the entire table about how much Pig Girl had bullied my family and I, laughing about it as if it were just some funny story from the past. All of the nice girls were trying to smile and go along with the joke, but were obviously uncomfortable, shooting odd looks at this newcomer. Pig Girl, on the other hand, looked like she was sitting on hot coals. After telling my funny story and expressing how much of a living hell Pig Girl had made middle school for me, I finally hit her with, "But anyway, why would you ever do that to my family and I? What did we ever do to you?" With the biggest, nicest smile I could muster. Pig Girl sputtered like a squashed frog. I heard her try to squeal something about, "Well, there was just so many of you," and other beaver sausage. But I just said, gotta get to my next class a bit early, and took off, leaving the most uncomfortable silence I've ever seen. Pig Girl didn't join our lunch table after that. Okay, that was really cool. That was really good revenge. And also, I appreciate how OP acknowledged that she should have probably been a little understanding and stuff like that. That shows good character. Good job, OP. This story's called The Revenge That Got Sweeter the Longer She Didn't Notice. Okay, so I am one of 4 girls. Yes, this led to many a fight. When I was in high school, my older sister had just come home from college for the summer. She was examining every inch of her room to make sure everything was in place. She also went into my room to make sure I didn't steal anything. Now, I did not touch anything of hers because I knew better. But she came up with something I stole anyway. She screams down the stairs that I stole her mattress, of all things. She starts ripping my blankets and sheets off the bed and begins hauling it out of my room. I come up the stairs and I'm yelling at her to stop because no, I did not. She couldn't even offer me any proof other than it felt like her mattress. So, as sisters sometimes do, we got into a fight over it. Like an actual fight with hair pulling and whatnot until my parents came to break it up. They let my older sister take the mattress. Now I spent the afternoon in my room fuming because I did nothing wrong. That's when my sister left to go hang out with her friends for the afternoon. That was my chance. I went back into her room and gently as I could, I moved her blanket so not a ruffle was out of place. Then I switched the mattresses back. Later that day and the next morning, I was so anxious that she actually could feel a difference. She didn't, and I kept my mouth shut. She didn't find out about it until several years later after she moved out with her boyfriend and I told her. She couldn't even remember the fight, but as a younger sister, nothing could replace the feeling of getting revenge on your older sibling. Was it petty? Yep. But it's still a favorite memory. You know what? That is an actually really cute story. But stop fighting. Why are you guys so violent? And I'm having a bunch of voice cracks because, like, I'm losing my voice almost, kinda, I think. I promise I'm an adult. Alright, this story's called That Was the Best Grilled Chicken I Ever Ate. Alright, so a little background. This happened like 2 years ago. It was in the middle of winter, there was a crazy storm going on, negative 25 degrees Celsius, and 15 centimeters of snow, maybe more. Anyway, my dad owns a restaurant, Lebanese restaurant to be exact, in Montreal. We are Lebanese, obviously. So, we have a whole chicken as one of our items in the menu. It takes 1 hour to make on the grill, and it says that on the pamphlet. Call an hour in advance for the whole chicken. It comes with other stuff too. That day, my dad took us to eat at our restaurant. My brother, who works there, we all work there, asked my dad if he can drop off the delivery on our way home since it was like 1 kilometer away from our house. This was also at night. My dad said okay, and we went. It was snowing like crazy. Some of the streetlights stopped working due to the strong winds. Understandably, it's pretty hard to deliver in these weather conditions. Some cars were getting stuck in the snow. So in total, with the grilling of the chicken and the delivery, it took 15 minutes. The customer didn't live too close either. All things considered, it was pretty fast. Anyway, as my dad was getting out of the car, he kept almost slipping due to some ice near the customer's building. He fell like 4 times. He finally arrives at the customer's apartment. He rings the doorbell and she opens. He greets her and she greets him back with attitude. He hands her the food. She tells him how they are late for the order, that she knows the owner, and that this is unacceptable. Entitled lady says, "This is unacceptable. I know the owner. Call him right away. I demand a discount." "Madam, that isn't necessary. There's no need to call anyone. We can resolve this simply. Again, my dad is the owner. How much do you want to pay?" The bill was like $30 with taxes and everything. $15. $15? Madam, listen, we weren't late for your order. It is very bad weather, and the whole chicken itself takes 1 hour. I understand if you want to pay $22 to $25, but 15? My dad doesn't take crap from anyone. He doesn't care who it is. "Well, then I'll call your boss." "Give me that for a second." He gave her the food at this point. "Listen here, I am the boss. Don't you ever call us or order from us ever again." Then he goes back to the car and entitled lady is yelling, "Monsieur, Mister, come back." My dad enters the car. We go home. He explains what just happened, and my mom, little brother, and I laugh about him taking the chicken and leaving and how messed up people can be. We eat the chicken for dinner that night. It's the best chicken I ever ate. The lady still orders, but now she is more friendly and nice. I think she learned her lesson. It's nice that you guys are giving her another chance to not be a piece of doo-doo. I mean, in her case, not a piece of doo-doo, a whole freaking jar of dookie water. This story's called Bully Gets Petty Revenged Twice. So one of my previous bosses was a bully. If she didn't like you, she was relentless with the little digs and put-downs. We'll call her Karen. Karen hated my colleague Brian and myself. She was hell to work for. But as both Brian and I were exceptionally good at our jobs, she couldn't get rid of us. Anyway, Karen wanted promotion, but she couldn't get it, mainly because too many people knew what she was like and made sure she didn't progress up the ladder. My petty revenge was being offered a new job. The same employer that was 2 grades higher than my current grade, and the same grade that Karen wanted promotion to. So I was now a higher grade than her. Brian also got another job, same employer, but in a different location. We both left at a similar time and had a joint leaving dough? Is that like a hendo thing? Okay. Anyway, Karen's workplace opened at 7 a.m., but staff weren't allowed to start work until 8 a.m. Karen always started at 7 a.m. because the rules didn't apply to her. Her workplace also had a tannoy system. Anyone could access the tannoy, simply dial the tannoy extension number and then deliver your message over the tannoy. Every morning at 7 a.m., after Brian and I had left, someone would dial the tannoy extension and play country and western music for an hour, or the same song for an hour, or jazz music for an hour. I was in the US on holiday, so they knew it wasn't me, but Brian was suspected. The caller number was traced to a burner mobile number, but they weren't able to identify who the phone belonged to. Karen barely lasted 2 weeks before coming in to work at 8 a.m. instead. Not sure who was doing it, but I bet it was the best 50 pounds split between them they'd ever spent. That was cool. Alright, this story's called Badmouth Me and Assume I Don't Speak the Language? I'll kill you with kindness. Obligatory, I'm on mobile, sorry for the formatting. I am a light-skinned Latina American and I lived in Korea for a couple of years during university and grad school, as my major was Korean interpretation and translation. During my time in Korea, I was lucky enough to attend music shows from time to time. For the K-pop uninitiated, music shows are free to enter, provided you have at least one of three items. A copy of the album of the group you're coming to see. B, proof of purchase of the album digitally on one of the approved music vendors in Korea. Or C, the official light stick from the most recent concert. Priority entry was always given to official fan club members who had all three, then fan club members who had two of the three, and then fan club members who had one. After that came non-members in the same priority tier. The group I had come to see hadn't opened official fan club registration in almost a decade, so the group's management decided to do away with the fan club priority and did it on a first-come, first-served basis, but kept the whole three items go first, then two, then one thing. I had all three, and I got there early, so I got a good spot in line. These queues often had us waiting outside for hours while the previous round of filming finished up. The thing about these music show venues is they're very small. They have limited capacity and allow 2 to 3 groups fans in to watch them film at a time. So not all people who queue for a group get in. In this particular instance, there was trouble with foreign fans causing trouble by taking pictures, not listening to instructions, so venue staff literally went and quizzed each foreigner in line on their Korean. If you couldn't understand, you were booted. I passed with flying colors and kept my spot in line. Here's where the revenge starts. Because of the aforementioned issues, a lot of Korean fans hated international fans with a passion. For this group in particular, so many people were pissed that they had to wait in line behind foreigners because they'd done away with the official fan club priority. Now, here's me, sitting alone in a queue outside on a hot summer day. A group of Korean girls sat in front of me, and a lone Korean girl talking on her phone sat behind me. I was minding my own business, playing games on my phone after passing my Korean quiz with the staff, when I heard the girl behind me talking crap. She was chatting with a friend, I suspect because she was dropping a lot of curse words, and specifically mentioned, "These foreign roaches are ruining things for us. I want to kill them." She mentioned me in particular and said that she bet I'd bribed the staff to keep my spot in line, even though I couldn't understand Korean. Okay, so it's harmless crap talk. I don't know this girl, and I don't know her friend. In the long run, it doesn't affect me, right? But it really rubbed me the wrong way, especially because she was talking quite loudly. So I grabbed my wallet, politely and quietly asked the Korean girls in front of me to watch my bag and hold my place in line, and went to the convenience store. I bought a round of water for everyone. It was heavy. I had about a dozen bottles of water. I get back to my spot in line, thanked the girls in front of me for holding my spot, then gave them each a water. I gave a water to the group in front of them too. Then I kept one for myself and turned around and handed one to the girl on the phone with a smile. Immediately, she lit up and thanked me in English, smiling bright and taking her phone away from her ear. As I hand her the water, I say in perfect Korean and still smiling, "Then next time you loudly crap talk the foreigners, make sure they can't actually understand you." When I tell you it went silent in the immediate area, you could hear a pin drop. Her smile melted off her face faster than an ice cream cone on Florida pavement. She turned beet red and muttered to her friend on the phone that she had to go and sheepishly apologized. I accepted. She had water and I felt better about myself. Bonus, the girls in front of me heard the whole thing and adopted me into their group for the day. Fun was had all around. Edit 2! Wow, this blew up. Thank you all for the awards. Kill them with kindness every day, y'all. Okay, that's an amazing story. That was really kind of you, and that was like the best possible thing you could have done, in my opinion. Good job. Thank you for sharing. Also, it's really cool you're living in Korea, and also really cool that you're like fluent in Korean. Badass language. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.